The protests have erupted across the country. Anger over illegal migration continues to spill. More protests planned today, actually.
Yeah, the unrest follows a record-breaking 24,000 channel crossings so far this year, with over 32,000 migrants being housed in hotels.
Well, here you go. What do we want to do about it? Well, the Home Office has responded. You'll be pleased to know. They've launched a new elite police unit, which will monitor anti-migrant sentiment online.
Stop. The Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, will also use new laws to prosecute migrants who dangerously overcrowd small boats, putting the lives of women and children at risk.
Let's talk to political commentator John Oxley. John, good morning. There is this growing pressure in this country. It feels like the lid is going to burst off the pot this summer. It's just what it feels like. In response, the Home Secretary has announced a unit to police anti-immigration sentiment on Twitter, basically.
I think we have to be very wary of what this actually entails. I mean, obviously, if there are people who are planning violent disruption, that is one thing that does have to be monitored. But in terms
that's criminal anyway.
Which is criminal anyway.
Yes, there's already laws for that.
Which there's already laws for that, and there's already things in place. But I think we have to be very wary of monitoring and supervising, legitimate discussion about politics, even if it's politics we disagree with or agree with. There's something quite worrying about the Home Office, the scope of this and what exactly they're going to be watching.
I have so many questions. Detectives will be drawn from forces across the country to take part in a new investigations unit, which will be called the National Internet Intelligence Investigations Team. Detectives drawn from forces across the country. Obviously, we're overloaded with police officers in the country. We don't at all have a 10,000 shortage.
That's exactly, another part of the issue. This is drawing resources away from elsewhere in the system, from looking at other, serious crimes, whether that's sort of physical crimes, robberies, or the fraud epidemic, which is online. And the
one rape every hour in London. Just saying.
Meanwhile, she's also saying, Yvette Cooper, that she's going to create new laws to prosecute migrants who overcrowd small boats coming over. Well, aren't they committing... Isn't it illegal to come here in this way anyway? Aren't they already committing an offence?
Yes, so it's already been made illegal to come through these routes to the country. And ultimately, you can add these charges on, but it creates the same problems that these people have to be processed, they have to be prosecuted for these offences, presumably punished, and then deported at the end. And if that's not in place, then it is simply sort of adding criminal offences, but not really getting to the heart of the issue.
So with all of this, there is all this concern in the country, legitimate concern, and the answer from the Home Office is to add criminal charges to people who are already committing an offence, which will result in nothing, or look at policing people who are voicing an opinion online because they're concerned with the matter. There's nothing here which actually tackles the heart of any of this at all.
No, and one of the big problems we have in relation to the hotel accommodation is this huge backlog in terms of simply processing the asylum claims, deciding if these people are entitled to asylum or not, or what to do with them at the end. The government have been speeding that up a little bit, but there's still thousands of cases of people who are waiting for a decision on their asylum claim. There's been an inability to come up with or develop permanent detention facilities, which is part of the reason why the hotels are being used, which is causing so much anger. And ultimately, as we sort of point to, the biggest problem is the flow of boats across the Channel is not stopping. In fact, it's increasing.
And that's the other thing with this, John. Neither of these two announcements are going to deter people coming here in the small boats. And that is the bottom line. If you stop people coming here in the small boats, we wouldn't have to have any of this.
That's correct. And that is the thing that the previous government failed to do. This government is struggling to do. Particularly this year, it appears the weather has been very favourable for people coming across the Channel, which is why you're seeing the numbers rise even further. The partnership with the French police is helping a little bit, but again, there are just so many people coming to the coast and attempting these crossings that they are getting through.
What worries me about this more than anything, actually, is the fact, I mean, as soon as we heard the news this morning, you look at it and you go, what on earth is going on here? People on your say getting in touch in their droves this morning saying a similar thing. It gives us a sense, doesn't it, that, I mean, certainly the Home Office, if not the entire cabinet here, are living in this weird bubble where they announce these things without having any clue as to how this is going to go down. Because this is going to do nothing but make the matter worse.
Yes.
The idea that you're saying in the case of all this concern, what we're going to do is further police the people of Britain so that they don't say nasty things online.
Yeah. You're exactly right. And I think what the Home Office should be doing, what would be right to be doing, as we were saying earlier, is looking at some of the criminal elements in this. If you're there to seriously cause trouble, seriously cause violence, you're going to be met with a stern response. But the fact that you're blurring the line between those people who are intent on causing trouble and those people who simply want to express themselves is very worrying. And, as you say, is only inflaming some of the tensions around this and the concern around this.
It is incredibly worrying, and even sort of like people that didn't think themselves would get angry about this situation are now getting angry about it. People are genuinely worried. I talk to people, women my age, around where I live in East London, who are seriously getting worried about their daughters and their granddaughters going in, and I never thought I'd be having those sort of conversations with these sort of people. And this is just like, so we are going to now police the public more than we're going to police the illegal migrants and the people getting them over here. That's what I'm learning from this.
Yeah, and that's the sort of thing that is leading to a greater sense of anger around this issue among lots of people, and it's really spreading. And it feels like the government are not addressing that in the way that would neutralise some of those tensions and reassure people.
All right, John, thank you. Let's see what the Home Office says, should we? They say this new team will help police forces track real-time information and protect communities from incidents and emergencies before they escalate. Paul Chalice, morning Paul, has been in touch. He says, so instead of tackling the problem, they're going to try to silence everyone who has concerns and thinks if we don't talk about it, it will go away.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That is exactly. You've absolutely nailed it there. Meanwhile, Mike says on the prosecuting them for overcrowding the boats. Mike says that's like prosecuting a burglar for using a ladder.
Yeah.
It's like he's always breaking the law.
Yeah.
And the fact that Yvette Cooper has made a point of saying, well, we don't want the boats too overcrowded because we want to protect the women and children. Well, Yvette, I don't know if you're looking at the same pictures that I'm looking of these boats coming over here, but...
There aren't that many women and children. I mean, there are some.
A few, but majority of them are strapping young men.
But also, we need to be stopping them coming here in the first place. It is illegal.
Are they not listening, Stephen?
No, and Jax has been in touch, and I get your point saying, I'm going to start selling posters with "Bang Your Head Here" on them. I think they'd sell quite well.
Absolutely.
Because that does it is what it feels like.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to be really, really balanced on how we cover all of this sort of stuff because it's important. I mean, there are always two sides to every story. Yeah. But with this, when you look at you only have to talk to anyone out in the streets. There are growing concerns. And they just seem to be going at it from completely the wrong angle.
What world are they living in? I mean, does she seriously put this... Look, I mean, Yvette Cooper isn't here to defend herself. I would love her...
come on the show.
I would absolutely love Yvette to come on this show and explain the thought process behind this.
Yeah.
And how she thought it would play out. What reaction did she think she would get? People like, the middle-aged women working in this local supermarket I'm talking to, did she really think this would play out well with them?
Yeah. Oh, thank heavens.
Oh, gosh, you've really sorted that problem.
They're going to stop people from tweeting about it because they're angry. It feels like they are trying to silence the British public. it feels like they are more pro the migrants and pro the British people who have concerns.
And what's that playing into? The rise of the far right, if you want to call them that.
The far right.
The far right.
Well, that's it. Anyone who has concerns is far right.
It's far right, yeah.
Which is
obviously
crazy. But I think they must be living in this absolute bubble where they do not have any concept of how this is going to go down amongst 80, 90% of the British population.
No.
Can't have a clue.
No, they can't do. They can't do. It's either that, they're either stupid, or they're doing it on purpose.
They can't be doing it on purpose.
So therefore,
because it plays into the hands of Reform, and it plays into the hands also to an extent of the Conservatives. Really, it's like an own goal.
Yeah.
They can't be doing it on purpose like that. Surely not.
Which only leaves one option.
I can't believe anyone could be that naive. I'm going to use that word.
Naive is putting it politely.
Yes,
well
I'm
done.
being polite.
Yeah, you're very well balanced and very polite about people.
I'm trying. It is our job to be balanced. It is not always.
But it's really difficult this morning.
easy.
I must admit, it is really difficult. But gbnews.com/yoursay.